Might be better if he stayed in the breakfast nook there. I'm a pretty sloppy doe-slinger, or so me husband always said. I wouldn't want to get anything on that nice suit of yours. Anyways, to answer your question, the first time I met Llewellyn, isn't that a nice old-fashioned name now? Llewellyn. Welsh, he told me. That's where the name comes from. His Welsh background on his mother's side. Anyway, so the first time was at the bank. I was just having one of those days when you start to think, if it gets any more difficult than this, I'm stepping in front of the next express bus I see barreling down the street. I was having breathing spells, and I was dropping things all over the place, and I can't bend over most of the time anyways, unless I want to spend most of the day looking at my shoes. Anyway, so I drop me deposit slip, and pops Llewellyn to pick it up for me, and we walk to the line together. The lines be terribly awful these days now, ain't they? How's your coffee, love? Oh, good. Well, so then we start to talking, and this is when I find out about how he's got this grand invention, and not that I understand it, mind. Something about a kind of a universal fitting shoe. And he's very upset because he's had to give over a lot of money lately to support his aunt over in Wales. And there's a man who wants to start right into to manufacture this universal shoe. But of course, Lou has to have the patent first, and all he's got in his pockets is lent. Well, I did not know him from Seamus, but I loved his way of talking. Had a real a broad Boston sound to him. Called me Esther when we got on first names. And he had the clearest eyes you ever saw. And what was 100 to me if it would help him so? And he did not do the asking, mind. It was all my doing the entire way. Yes, I understand why we're talking, Mr. Attorney-at-Law, Esquire. I'm just wanting to tell the story in my own fashion. Well, fine. If time is money, then I'll just hit the highlights, as you call it. Over the past 5 years, I've taken it on myself to help Lou out in a number of different ways. But it was always 50 here, 100 there. If the fellow was a con artist, as you call him, wouldn't he have tried to take it all at once? Altogether? But you know this better than I do. All right, have it your way. Altogether, it came to 22,000. Yeah, right. Put on that smug look of yours. Poor old lady, taken for a ride. Well, I don't see it as any tragedy, like you put it on the phone. I told you before, and I'm telling you now, I had it to give out of what Dr. Galway left me. And so what of it? Do you know how many days Llewellyn sat right where you're sitting, right where you are, listening to me going on and on about this and that, swapping stories with me? Do you know what it's like when your house goes silent? Do you ever talk to yourself? And I don't mean little noises and comments. I'm talking about sentences, phrases, pages. Look, Mr. Levine, look for a minute. You got 40% of that money back, isn't that so? Not that I ever asked for it, nor even needed it, but the other ladies you represented did, and I understand the feelings. But okay, so you got it back. Isn't that enough now? Your job. Aye. Your job. I understand. I said, I understand. I'm not the village idiot, you know. I'm sorry, Mr. Levine. I know you didn't deserve that. Look, why don't I go make a fresh pot of coffee, and I'll sit down with you, and we can go over this from start to finish, and I'll try to give you what you want. All right? Yeah? Hey, good, yeah. Only would you do us a favour? Do you think you could take a couple of these pies to Llewellyn for me? I mean, jail food for a man with a lovely appetite like his. Now that would be a tragedy.